it's Pam with Organizer EZ 911, and welcome to another episode of my weekly weight loss vlog series. I can't talk today. Anyway, I thought I'd take this vlog to kind of piggyback last week's vlog. And my last week, I talked about meal planning and portion sizes. And a viewer named Carolyn commented on it that she would like to see a video on how I prepare all those portioned out containers that I had in last week's video. And if you missed last week's vlog, just click on the iCard up there and it'll take you to that vlog so you can catch up. So I got my bags. Let's go inside and I'll show you how I start preparing. Okay, so I got everything unpacked out of the car, but before I go any further, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Carolyn for taking the time to comment on last week's video. You know, the whole reason I'm doing this vlog is that we can share information and help each other. And if you see something in my videos that you may not, you want a little clarity on it, or say, you know, can you clarify that? Can you give me a little more information? Please put that in the comments below and I will try to address it in future videos, okay? So thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate you taking that time. Okay, like I said, I have unpacked my groceries, primarily just leaving the produce here. All the produce I buy, there's two things Christy has taught me. She says, one, sometimes it's helpful to plan your meals based on the weekly sales. So like if chicken is on sale, plan your meals with chicken in them. And that way you save a lot of money. And I do that. But sometimes there are sales that I know I'm going to have recipes in the future that I want and use items that I can freeze. And if you can freeze items and you have it in your budget, that's kind of what I do a lot with my produce, and I'll explain with certain produce, not all of it. And I'll explain that a little bit later in this video. So I set my kitchen up in zones after I shop. And so this is my unloading zone. Back here is my rinsing and cleaning zone. And I put paper towels out not only to absorb the extra moisture, but sometimes it's easy, it makes it easier to carry these items to my zone over here, which is my cutting and preparation zone. And here I've got the garbage can all ready. I took the top off of it and everything because I just literally, as I'm cutting, I just slide that stuff right off the edge. I've got a big bowl. This is what I use for my peppers, and I'll show you that later because when I cut up all the peppers, it literally fills this bowl. I have my freezer bags ready to go to store it, and then I also have these wonderful green containers. They're kind of like these green bags. They keep your produce fresher longer, and this is for when I'm going to just store it directly in the fridge and not freeze it. Okay, so that's how I get things started when I get home from the grocery store. Okay, it took about around a half an hour. We had a couple of interruptions, a couple of people come to the door, but in about a half an hour time we got everything here all washed and ready, and now we're going to move to the cutting station. Okay, so after I get them all chopped up, I mix them all in this bowl. These are all my peppers. And again, there was a great deal on peppers at the grocery store, so I stock up on them because that's a freezable vegetable. And I use them in so many of my recipes. Having a bag ready and chopped, that's the time saver thing that Christy and I were talking about. This doesn't have to, eating healthy doesn't have to be, you know, a chore daily. Yes, you do have to do your work probably at least once a week, okay, of chopping all this stuff up. But once you're done with that, it really goes a lot easier. I thaw this out the morning that we're going to have spaghetti. Sometimes I even make the spaghetti sauce, pre-make the spaghetti, you know, the ground turkey with all the sauce, and I put it in a much bigger bag all together and then freeze it. So then all I have to do is pull out the bag and warm it up. So this is where you save a lot of time in your food prep for eating healthy. And this is pre-portioning out what I would use for a recipe. Some of them I fill smaller for single portions. and I throw them in there as well. So that's what you can do to kind of preset some of your meals. Okay, moving on to the berries that I bought. I bought strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries, all again because they were on sale. Whenever berries go on sale, stock up on them because they can get pretty pricey, especially the blueberries and raspberries. They always seem to be very high priced, at least where I live. But anyway, when they're on sale, I buy them in bulk and then I either just directly freeze them. After I've washed them all up, I just put these in freezer bags and put them in the freezer, and then I use them for smoothies. So when I take it out, I literally just put the bag of frozen fruit into my blender. I put maybe a half a cup of this. It's only 5 calories, some cranberry juice, and maybe a scoop of protein powder. Blend that up. I'm getting good protein for low calories, less than 150 calories. That's including the protein powder and the berries together. And it gives you that charge, especially after you've worked out. So that's one of the things I pre-portion are my berries, okay? The other thing that I use that I showed in last week's video was I put the berries in cottage cheese or vanilla yogurt, vanilla Greek yogurt. Normally they say a serving size for cottage cheese is a half cup, and I'll be honest with you, I've never had a half cup of cottage cheese in my life. Okay, I mean, I literally could down this large container, no problem, if truth be told. That's how I got to be the size I am. And now I have to portion it back. So I make full cup servings. Now, normally a half a cup is about 90 calories in the cottage cheese. Again, I make it more like a full meal, and I make a full cup of cottage cheese because that's just the way I am. You can decide how much you want. If you're a cottage cheese fan like I am, go with a cup. And then I just simply put a handful of the berries in. Now, the cottage cheese for a full cup would be 180 calories. You may have 20 calories, if that, with the fruit. So for 200 calories, and with that 200 calories, you would be getting 24 grams of protein, okay? And it'd be about 5 grams of fat, and I'm showing my age, and about 8 grams of carbs. And I also do the same thing. I put a cup of vanilla Greek yogurt in one of these containers, again with the berries. It's 140 calories for a full cup. You'll be getting 21 grams of protein in that cup. You'll be getting, this is non-fat Greek yogurt, so there's only 0.5 grams for a cup of fat. And the carbs on this would be 13 carbs. So based on what you need in your life, you can, like I said, you can make these little containers of either vanilla yogurt in the berries, pre-portioned out, or cottage cheese in these berries. Those are my favorite go-to snacks when I'm on the run, okay? Okay, got them all contained. Now I'm gonna label. You can use anything to label it. I even just grabbed masking tape and a Sharpie. Okay, so once you have them labeled here, like I explained in last week's video, and I think we may have done it a little fast, is that I put tape on just about everything that I portion out here. And that is because sometimes I'm rushing around and I don't have time to go back to my journal and write exactly what I have in there. So I honestly will take off these little pieces of tape when I'm in a rush, stick them to the side of or stick them right here to the fridge. And at the end of the day, I can either just transfer them into a page or recopy it over, depending on how organized I want to be. And at the end of the day, I can see what I've had. And I can also visualize what I've had already and kind of keep track that way too. Okay, I hope you found everything I showed you in this video helpful. If you did, please poke that thumbs up button there, give me a big old like, and be sure to check back in a couple weeks when I will show you some of my favorite easy go-to meals and how to prepare them so that you're not always stuck in the kitchen cooking. Because again, when you're losing weight, you got a busy life, you don't want to spend all day in the kitchen, right? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And now I'm really excited to tell you that I finally, after like a month of being stuck and not losing a pound, I lost 2 pounds this week. And there is something very specific that I did that caused that weight to start falling off again. And I will tell you all about it next week. So be sure to check back next week, and I will tell you my secret for losing this 2 pounds this past week. Okay, I'm really excited to share that news. If you liked what you saw in this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click that subscribe button below and become part of our organizing and weight loss family. I'm Pam with Organizer EZ 911. I'll see you next week.